Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Wild Wednesday Live, presented by the Quilt Craft and Sewing Festival and Quilt Craft Sew Mall, your one stop for all your favorite vendors that you usually see at the shows. I'm Raylene, easy for me to say, I'm Raylene Salazar and I'll be your host this week. And I want to start this week by doing one of my favorite things. Let's go ahead and do our roll call. Type in where you're watching from. We've been so excited to see people watching from all over the country as well as outside in Canada, Australia. So go ahead and type that in because it's fun for me to go back and look at that after the show. Just a reminder that July 8th, 9th, and 10th, we are finally back in Denver, Colorado. We have a fabulous new location. We're going to be at the Arapahoe County Fairgrounds in Aurora. And that, of course, is because our old venue is no longer open, so we had to make a move. But it's going to be a great move. It's a beautiful building, and we're so excited about that. And just like we did in both Boise and Oklahoma, we are going to be live from the show floor for 3 days. That'll be Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That'll be 3 o'clock Colorado time, which will be 2 o'clock our regular time, Pacific time. So it won't be quite as confusing as it was with Oklahoma being a little further out on time. And Beth will be back with me. I really missed having her with me when we were in Oklahoma. So be sure that if you go to the show, which we hope lots of you are, we know we have a lot of viewers from Colorado, be sure that you go to both Beth and my booth and say, I get wild with you guys on Wednesday, because we do have a special gift for you. And now just to get through some of the, and one other thing, I'm sorry, that I wanted to mention about the shows, for anybody who might be still a little bit concerned about the crowded shops and the aisles being kind of crowded, what have you, if you wait till after 1 o'clock, it's much more calm. There's not near as many people, and that still gives you from 1 to 5 on Thursday and Friday and 1 to 4 on Saturday to shop without quite so much crowd. Okay, and we just want to remind everybody that our vendors today are all giving special discounts, which will be good till midnight tomorrow night, Thursday. So if you see something you can't live without, you do not want to wait. Make sure you get on their sites and get that ordered. And you can find all 4 of today's vendors easily by simply going to the Quilt Craft Sew Mall and click on the Wild Wednesday logo. That will take you directly to today's vendors. And if you have questions for any of our vendors during the show, just be sure and hang on to those till the end. We're going to bring every one of our vendors back on at the end of the show, Brady Bunch style, so we can have our question and answer period. If you type your question in too soon, we might not see it, and we don't want to miss any of the questions that you'd like to ask. And don't forget, if you ever miss an episode of Live, you can always go to our YouTube channel, Quilt Craft Sew Mall, and see every episode we've been doing from the beginning. And while you're there, be sure and subscribe so you never, ever miss an episode. And of course, today, like always, we will be giving our door prizes away. And we want to thank our vendors for generously donating all these items for us. So we're going to have a 3-pack of Laurel Birch socks from Beyond Interiors, a magic window kit from Colorado Creations, a dazzling medallia kit from Uniquely Crafts, and enough fabric to make 2 beautiful pillows from the Fabric Chicks and 2 acrylic square-ups from Quilter's Haven. Be sure and listen later in the show for the secret word that enters you in that drawing. And last, we just always like to remind you that our show streams live through the internet, so we're kind of at the mercy of internet connections. And even though we test everybody before the show, sometimes things happen. A storm blows through, or there's a power outage, or who knows all the millions of things that can happen. But if at any time the connection is ever so bad that we just feel like you're not getting anything from it, we'll have them try to reconnect, and if that doesn't work, we'll reschedule them for later. But the occasional sound or video glitch, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. Normally when that happens, it's just for a few seconds, so just be patient and hopefully everything will pop right back up. Anybody that's watched the news since the pandemic started knows that this is a common occurrence because everybody's going through the internet. Okay, so I think we've got all that housekeeping stuff out of the way, so we are ready to get going with our first vendor up today, and we'd like to welcome back our good friends, Leanne and Julie from Beyond Interiors. And man, my tongue-tied is really bad today, but hopefully you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. But so are you guys there?
We are here.
Hi, go ahead.
Hi, Raylene. I'm Leanne Scott, and my business partner, Julie Miller, is here, and we are Beyond Interiors. We have been in business for over 30 years. bringing all kinds of wonderful color to all of you in our knitting, quilting, stitching shows throughout California. That's basically where we're based and where we do most of our shows. So today we wanted to show you our Australian Aboriginal fabric, which is fabulous, fabulous fabric with crocodiles, turtles, kangaroos, all kinds of different things, and colorful, of course. Why wouldn't it be? And so I just wanted to show you some fat quarters that we've got here, and I'll just kind of hold them up. And then Julie can show you some of the wonderful things that she has made from these fabulous fabrics.
So these fabrics are all 100% cotton. They're just wonderful designs. As you can see, this one has kangaroos in particular, and then jungle. And then the circle fabrics are a very, very popular, very consistent pattern in Aboriginal styles. The table runners can be purchased, obviously pre-made as is. They also have matching napkins, which is an easy win, that are washed wonderfully, and you can just fold them up. We have, as Leanne said, this one is like a river rock and a stream pattern, as well as a pattern like through the jungle, through the desert, and the colors are just wonderful. Also matching napkins. There's this style, which is, again, they're just wonderful fabrics. This is a particularly wonderful one for us. It's an ocean with the green sea turtles and the sea creatures, the fish and the alligators, and they're just amazing. A very pretty yin and yang pattern that is black and white and black. And here is another one. This almost looks like the central, almost looks like a celestial pattern to me. And then again with the pathways and the beautiful circles. We also carry Laurel Birch, who was the premier designer, as far as I'm concerned, in the 60s in San Francisco. Her fabrics are still, they're so timeless. They're just beautiful. This is an example of a runner, and then here's the fabric as well. And Leanne is going to now show you.
I'm going to show you some of her just classic, colorful patterns. And this particular is cats. I think people really know her for her colorful cats. She has done butterflies and fish. And of course, Julie showed you the flower pattern.
Here's the fish
combinations.
Yeah, sorry. Who doesn't like turquoise and purple?
We also specialize in Japanese anime. And actually, I am wearing a blouse today that I made from the fabric that we sell. But it's getting harder and harder to find that stuff. But we just love it. So we hope that when we go back live, you'll visit us, or you'll visit us on our website. But this is also some of the different anime. And of course, check out our website, because it is a one-stop shopping extravaganza. So, and you're going to show.
And another simple project that you can use that only basically takes a fat quarter is just making a very simple pouch. And it's just a darling wine carrier, which you put your bottle of wine in here, and there's a tie that brings it around so that when you go to a friend's house, it's a lovely hostess gift. And the fabric is just too festive. It's perfect for a party.
While we were on Laurel Birch, I just thought I'd show you some patterns that we have in t-shirts that she makes. So this happens to be a black and white polka dot pattern cats. And then I think you've got another one with the...
I love this one in particular because it's got a pattern on the sleeve, and then on the opposite, there you can back it up and see how it's going to look in person. And it's just very stylishly designed.
And we also have a few of these cat panels left. And so, do I have it backwards?
No, maybe I'm wrong. Sorry.
Can't quite see. Anyway, we've got a few of those left, and this is all her cat pattern. So while we were on Laurel Birch, I just wanted to show you that. Julie makes a lot of very colorful jewelry. And so she can show you some of that.
So I'll just, as an example, everybody can see my lovely neck here. So this is what we call the alien spaceship necklace. And it is one of those things. They are hand-blown glass lampwork beads that we get from the woman, the designer that makes them. They're almost all one of a kind because I just combine the choices that I have and the styles that I like. I'm wearing something plain so that the necklace pops out. Leanne has on a patterned shirt and the necklace blends in. These necklaces go with everything. So here's another example of the lamp work. That's the alien spaceship. And we have matching earrings that I kind of call oddball because I can make you a pair of matching earrings, but these are just wonderful because they're different colors. So they just help with our theme being Mo Color Mo Better, which is, the consensus of our lives here. We love Venetian glass. So we have a wholesaler that goes to Venice every year and buys these fabulous Venetian beads. This one in particular is blue with the beautiful lime green. This is a black and magenta pink. It's just beautiful. And it's got 3 beautiful beads. The one on this, I can't seem to wiggle. Anyway, one is a heart. There we go.
That's
of course,
here.
I'm always backwards. Sorry. So this is a heart bead, which is just especially really pretty. And it looks really lovely on with earrings. We have just an eclectic. Here's a black and white. This goes again with many, many styles these days and this doesn't probably show up as easily on a white background, but it is a clear-ish bead, but it is infused with blue, turquoise, and pink, and kind of like a purple speckles, however you say that. And then I have contrasted it with the beads that I use as the contrasting are Swarovski crystal, and we have some vintage art glass beads and just, interesting beads that we found. This is a blue and green and lavender choice that is surprisingly interesting as well as easy to combine with a lot of your clothing choices. One of the other manufacturers that we purchase stuff from it's a company called Firefly. They are made of crystal and semi-precious beads that are hand assembled. I can never do this right. There. So we have many choices. This is a necklace that is particularly pretty. It also has a matching bracelet as well as, surprise, earrings. Oh, never do it right. There we go. They're just a lovely combination. And then we have many other choices. They're available on the website so that you can see them in a much better detail than I'm able to show you. But we have just really enjoyed these earrings, and they're so cheerful and they blend so well with the clothes that you're wearing. It's pretty interesting.
So our show special today is 15% off any of our jewelry. The jewelry that Julie has made, the Firefly jewelry that she has shown you, and you don't need any coupon code for that. So visit our website and you'll be able to get 15% off today. Other popular items are our whimsical socks. So I'm going to show you 2 of our popular styles. Obviously, the knitting quilting. Oh, I can't do this either. The knitting and quilting girl socks have been so popular at all these shows. And also the llama and sheep for all you knitters and stitchers. And we have a lot of these. And of course, our laurel birch socks. These are just a few of the styles, as well as cats and horses. So visit our website for those. We carry a vast array of children's socks. And these are just so much fun for our grandchildren, your children. It's just a fun, very fun. These and the kids are
tacos.
a three pack of socks. And of course, we carry men's, very whimsical men's socks. So I just wanted to show you again, colorful. That's our theme for our booth always, and cocktails. And we also have some laurel birch bags. Dogs, of course. Dogs again. And this is I hope this shows well because it's shiny, but it's a mermaid with fish and her infamous cats. We sell all these totes, which are great for your projects. Again, very, very colorful. So I hope that you'll come visit our website. And we thank you so much for tuning in today. And don't forget 15% off of any of our jewelry just for the next day and a half or so. So thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
That was awesome, you guys. You know, it's funny because when you think of Laurel Birch, you always think of the cats because, of course, she's so well known for that. But some of the other stuff she has is so gorgeous. And your booth is always so vibrant. I can't wait until we see you in person at a show so we can do a live from your booth to show all of our viewers who may not have the opportunity to see you somewhere all the terrific stuff in your booth because it always just looks beautiful. So we hope you guys will stick around to the end of the show for question and answer. And we appreciate you being back on, and we thank you for your door prize donation.
Again,
Thank you.
We so look forward to seeing everyone in person.
We can't wait. Okay, so next up, I'm really excited because when this vendor showed me what she was going to show today, I was like, that is just the coolest thing ever. So we are going to be welcoming back Jackie from Colorado Creations. Are you there, Jackie?
I am. Oops, I'm on the wrong. Let me toggle to a right screen.
No problem.
So you can see me. Hi there.
Hi.
There we go.
There she
Yay.
is. Hi, Jackie. Welcome back.
Thank you. So as she said, I'm from Colorado Creations Quilting. Please remember the word quilting. There's another competitor in the area that uses my name. So I usually design, I don't know if you can see that quilt way back there, pictorial art quilts with a nature theme is my thing, and I do patterns, mostly raw edge applique. But today I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Let me see if I can get the right camera going. We're going to work with panels. I really like panels because they are so versatile. I've got a lot of patterns that I've designed with panels in the center, cut up, chopped up, you name it. But today we're creating a wall hanging. My husband said he needed a fish for his office, so he's a fly fisherman. So I thought this one might work pretty well. Most of these longer panels are about 22 inches wide and then about 42 from salvage to salvage. So any of these types of panels will work wonderfully with what we're doing today. So you can swap out and just do a different color background that coordinates. So the first thing I want to talk about is finding what might be the center of the panel, because you want the image to show. And in other words, we're going to be cutting some of the top and bottom off of this panel, and certainly wouldn't want to chop off his fin, you know. So I'm okay with getting rid of some of the sky up here, or maybe on the other side, some of this water, but I certainly want to keep maybe the big splash that's going on, and definitely the rainbow trout as it's coming out. So I found what I've considered it is my center. It's not true center. In other words, this panel is 42 inches long, so half of 42 is 21. So this certainly isn't 21 inches from here to here, but it's my center. The other thing we want to do is cut this down to 22 inches wide. So some of them are 24, some 23 and a half. You just never know. This one's almost at 22, so there's not much that I have to cut off. What I want to do, though, can you see that? I hope you can see. I'm pulling down some of that from the top, which is actually the bottom of the panel. Hope I'm not confusing you. So I've got this on the 10 line only so that you can see out of my camera there, but you could start on the 0 line. And I pulled that down just so I could see the marks up here so I can get a nice true straight line going there. These pieces are going to be fairly small, especially the background pieces. I'm trying to find a rotary cutter. And so you want to try to be as accurate as you can when you're cutting these pieces here. Okay, so I've got one side there. Oh, I feel like Eleanor Burns cutting and throwing on the floor. And then I'm going to cut the other side. Okay, so now it's a true 22 inches across. So the next thing we need to do is cut so that it is 32 inches long. And what I'm going to do is actually turn my table, or mat I should say, around here a little bit. I want to try to keep this panel as stable and not move as much as possible. It's going to help with all the cutting. So I want it to be 32, and since it's folded in half of 32 is 16. So I'm going to use this line right here to chop away the portion I don't want. So if you'll bear with me there, hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. And as you can see, I chopped away a little bit of the sky and a little bit of the bottom. Where am I? The bottom part there. Everybody with me so far? I hope so. Okay, I'm going to turn this back around now. I guess I should give you an overall view of what we'll be making. That might be helpful. So this is a pattern. Where are we? It's not working. There we go. How about that? A pattern by lady Mrs. Jordan. So she's got a tutorial on the website, and I give you all the information along with the pattern. If you buy the kit, all of the kits that make these are all $39.99. And what she tells us to do is start cutting this. Let me see. Let me pull out a real live one here. A little bit bigger so you can see it. So this was the first one of many I've done with the Tetons in Wyoming. So as you can see, these strips are fairly narrow at the beginning, get a little bit wider till you get to the center, and then they get narrow again. So that's what we're going to do right now, is cut this panel into strips. And again, the numbers will be in the on the pattern piece that comes with the kit. So I'm going to cut. There's 1.5 and a 2.5. And I certainly, if I were you, would take more time and make sure you get them right, because some of these pieces are going to be so small that if you don't use accurate cutting and accurate 1/4 inch, especially the 1-inch strips get a little bit wiggly, and you can definitely see it in the piece, and you're wondering if you're seeing double sometimes. So you better take some time, and then that'll help you out in the long run. Okay, so there are the first 3 strips. Now I'm going to make the big strip. It's about 7 inches, which is the 24 line. Okay. go. So that's the big center one, and then I'm going to start coming back down, making them narrower. And probably should have, just for time's sake, had these all cut. I did cut the background, so I think they're relatively easy little pieces and pretty straightforward on the pattern. 2.5. And then I put the last strip there. Okay, so now we have the strips cut. And the next part that we have to do is chop up little sections here and also on the bottom of the quilt here. Okay, that gives it that pretty oval shaped window look. I picture it as looking out of a very delicate window on my mountain scene. My idyllic rustic cabin with watching the Tetons in the background there. Maybe one day that'll happen. I doubt it, but always wishful. So in order to cut those off, we're going to leave the top strip. We don't want to cut any more off of that one, the huge one in the center. So I'm pulling it down just so it's not in my way and I don't accidentally cut into it. From there, again, if these are lined up, the better it's going to work. And as I was cutting, I kind of got this off here, so I'm trying to put those all back in place. All right. Once we do that, I'm going to cut off 2 inches off the top here. And we'll keep doing this till we run out of strips to cut. If you can't cut this way, and I'm having a hard time even myself, it's probably a good reason to flip the mat around again. So let's see if we can do that. Okay, so I've got 2 inches there, 2 inches on that side. What I cut off, just pull them away and throw them out of the way. And then I'm going to take the 2 that are closest to the center, kind of pull them down also. That way I don't accidentally cut into them anymore. And I'm going to chop off a little. Oh, that one moved. Don't want that to happen. Again, the more you take time with it, the better your results will turn out. So I'm going to cut off here. But it really does, at least the top anyway, go together within a couple of hours. So, okay, I'm again going to roll these down so they don't get chopped off by mistake. And one last cut here. Oh, I moved it. Okay. Here we go. All right. Chop that one last little piece off there. Okay. Throw those away. Let me turn this back around so you can see what happened here. So if I put these all back up, you can see how I get that rounded shape again. Stair-stepping up and then stair-stepping back down. So in the directions, it tells you to cut various little squares here that you're going to sew from your background fabric. And with each of my kits, I think I've added 2 colors choices for background fabrics. So I've got 2 pieces here that should be the same size as this, one for the top and one for the bottom down here. Also 1 to each side as such, okay? And then from here on out, I want to press towards the dark. Or, excuse me, if it's not dark and light, I want to press towards the background fabric. Doesn't always have to be dark. You could certainly pick something light if it goes with your panel. So let me lay those out just so you get so they get longer. They get longer there, and the width narrows. So I've got a couple for each side here. And again, you would sew one to the top of the panel strip and one to the bottom strip. And as I said, they get longer in length, but narrower as far as the width goes. Now, once you've done that, you're ready for the next step. From here, I would probably cut out binding just to make sure you've got long width of fabric. All you need is 4 strips for binding. And then I would cut the little 1-inch strips. And so these are going to be cut 1 by 39 so that it'll fit with the rest of the pattern, with the rest of the panel. So I've got this off. I'm going to have to fix that. I think I did the wrong one there. But you find these things out and you tweak and adjust. My kids have enough fabric for fudge factors, so go with that. So anyway, once you get these pieces sewn to the strip, it makes a nice long 39-inch strip. And that's where these little 1-inch strips are going to come in handy. So we're going to put one in between each panel and sew those in. Here is where I would be really careful, take my time to sew 1/4 inch, as close to 1/4 inch as you can. If you wiggle a little, it's going to show up in your pattern because these strips are so darn small. When you get done and get rid of the get it into the finished, it's only a half inch finished. With the seam allowances gone, it'll only be a 1/2 inch. So if you kind of have a wavy 1/4 inch seam, it's going to show up. So be careful and take your time with these. So there's 6 of these, and you'll put one in as such on each piece. And then I've got a 2.5 inch here to finish on either side. So as such. Okay, I forgot a couple of 1 inchers there. A lot of times I will audition, cut a little 1-inch strip off of some bolt of fabric or out of your stash and see if it's going to work. Originally, like I said, I offer 2 choices. Originally, I had a kind of an olive green. I thought it would go really nice with this part of the fish in here. But when I got it up here into the sky, he was just kind of really screaming at me saying, I'm not quite right. I'm not playing with the rest of the project. So I kind of tucked the green away and put it for another project, and the blue seemed to do much better. So I would highly suggest auditioning some fabrics before you start cutting all that up to see if that's going to work for you. So you see how it's coming together. I'm sorry for lack of time. I can't really sew it for you. But it's fairly easy, goes together really fast and quick. I would suggest it, for a beginner to advanced to intermediate, it's for everybody. So let me toggle to another screen here, and I'll give you my, where are we? I hope this one's working. Okay. So as you can see, we have today some specials there. I've got all the panels in my store that I've got on the shop are 20% off. The kits are also on the shop under the kits area. So if you're liking what you're seeing here, I've got 4 or 5 of these ready to go for you. Different. Well, let me show you. So here's one. Let's see. Almost done here. Here's one that has a beautiful cascading waterfall. You saw the one with the trout. This one I have, as I said, I'm pretty much nature themed. So this one has, it's a creek down there, but it has a lot of animals like the eagles, wolves, bears. On the other side, it has some of the elk and so forth. So that makes a nice one too. And then here in the background, unfortunately, the Tetons, that fabric is also that. It went really quickly. But I do have an autumn seam here. It would go nicely. So again, press these seams. Let's see if we can see this here. Press the seams toward the green. In this case, it was green background. But press the seams towards the background. And if you look at the back of it, almost looks like you've got the panel put back together because the seams, those little 1/2-inch seams with the 1-inch strips are really small. So I just warn you, just take your time with that. That's probably the most cumbersome, or what's the word I'm trying to say? Area you need to keep in mind. Let's see. What else do we have? So here we have some of the kits I have, and as I said, there's 2 different color choices. This Cascade one, I have a navy and a green that goes really well. The Forest Creek with all the animals, I've got brown and green. The Autumn Splendor one is just in this kind of an olive green. That seemed to be the only thing that really worked with this particular panel. And then again, the fish, I've got a royal blue and the navy blue, which I was working with earlier. So I think I'm at about the end of my show. Thank you.
That was awesome, Jackie. I mean, that looks like so much fun. I am anxious to get on your website and do a little shopping myself. And I have a couple of panels that I didn't know what to do with them that I think I might practice on a little bit. But that is so much fun. I'm like really anxious to add that to my list of to-dos.
Well, great. As far as quilting,
Okay.
a quilt in the stitch in the ditch seems to work good because it's so small
I can see
in
that.
the panel
Yeah.
area. But stippling or something in the background area, and it comes together really fast.
Amazing. Well, I hope you can stick around to the end for our question and answer period.
Sure.
And we're really thankful. It was really fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, it's contest time. Now, we know we might have some viewers that are new with this that aren't sure how this works. So here's what we're going to do. In just a second, I'm going to give you a secret word. You are simply going to type that word in the comments, and that will enter you into our door prize drawing. Then, in a couple of hours after the show is over, and normally I've got this posted by 5 o'clock or so Pacific time, but you'll go back to the Quilt Craft Sew Facebook page, look for the big colorful picture that says winner, and I will list all the winners and also what you need to do to redeem your prize. You only have until Friday night at midnight to claim the prize. And as the regulars know, I don't go looking for you anymore. So you need to make sure you set a reminder or something so that you remember to go back and check for your name. We do ask that you only type the secret word in one time so that I don't spend time sorting those out. And also, if you don't want to win, just don't enter. That's the easiest way to take care of that problem. So anyway, we've really had a lot of fun with this. We have given out tons and tons of door prizes since we started. So are you guys ready? Everybody's paying attention? The secret word today is very appropriate for what's going on all over the place right now, and it's an easy one. Type in the word hot. Because it has really been hot a lot of places. Here in Arizona, we're lucky it actually cooled down today to like 99, and we're walking around in our parkas because it was 122 last week while we were in Oklahoma. So go ahead, if you haven't already, type in the word hot. And now we're ready to move on to our next vendor. We're so excited to have Amy back again from Uniquely Crafts. So hi, Amy, are you there?
Hi, how are you? I have a little bit of crackling and I'm hoping it gets fixed.
Well, you know what? We just roll with it. Yeah, I'm not sure. We thought it might. She had a ceiling fan on, and so did we. So we turned all those off, and that didn't fix it. So we're not real sure what it is, but guys, we're just going to roll with it. You can still see and hear what she's doing. So go ahead and take it away, Amy.
All right, so today I'm going to be showing you what is a partial kit. And a lot of people get confused. They think, well, part of it is missing or things like that. So I thought I'd do a demo today just to kind of explain what a partial kit means. So basically you get a kit just like this. And it's very thin and it feels really thin because there's not a whole lot of beads that go on a partial kit. And your tool set beads are included into the kit. And so basically what it is these, the kit comes with your beads like I showed you here. And each bead other, is it going? Just like my other kits. But this is a little different where they're actually, the bead packages are actually just connected where you just cut them off. So number 5 goes with all of the bees, which is kind of upside down to you, I guess. Maybe I should turn it around. So basically partial means is only part of it is beads, but the background is just canvas. So you're not doing the full design in beads. And so and a lot of the partials have different various bead sizes also, rather than just the regular kits where they have the one size beads. And so today I'm doing package number 1. And so number 1 are all of the blue dots. So anything with the blue dots here is what I'm going to fill. And it is only sticky where the blue dots are. It is not sticky here, but only where those beads go. And so I'm just going to take my tool set, or when you first start, there's a tube at the end, and most people forget that you have to pull this sheet back on a wax. And this comes in your kit. And you press this end into the pen, and it fills that tube up with wax. And this is what actually helps pick the beads up out of the tray. And so I'm just going to pull it back to wherever I'm working to so I don't stick to it and lose all my arm hairs. And I'm just going to put them on the blue dots and they just stick. Now, if I was to put one right here, it's not going to stick because it's not sticky. There's nothing here. But there's a blue dot and of course it'll stick down. So then also, so these are the smaller beads, as I was saying, and you can do about 100 to 200 beads with just one thing of wax. These beads are a little bit tougher, and the reason why I showed these beads is because they're more rounded and they're not cut in the 5-dimensional direction like a diamond. And so sometimes you might need a little bit more wax with these type of beads, these smaller beads. Now I also on this design have bigger beads. And this package number is number 4. And so number 4 are all of the A's, which are upside down to you, but correct for me. And I pull this back and here are some A's. Now this pen will pick up the bigger A's. It'll pick up the bigger B's, I should say. And so you're just picking them up and you're just putting them on the A's and they just stick. Now the pen will only pick up maybe 5, maybe less than 5 when you need to put more wax. It uses a lot more wax with these bigger beads that you see here. And so when you want to take a break, you just put the plastic back over it so nothing gets on it. Now I have several different new designs that I've just come out with on the partial kits because a lot of you have seen the trees and things like that. So with this particular design, it's going to end up looking like this. And I don't know if you can see the picture very well. And so on this design, it actually fits a 10 by 10 frame. And what I do is I will cut this edge off all the way around once I'm completely done with it. And I'm going to take a 10 by 10 frame, which I have here, which is one of my new designs. It's called Peacock Feathers. And so I'm just going to show you how it's very simple, very easy. I'm just going to take it and I've cut this one off and it's completely done. And I'm just going to flip it in here without getting it stuck on the little knobs. And I'm just going to put it in here and I put the backing on. And I got this frame at Michael's. They're only $14 with a coupon, and a lot of times they have them on sale. You can get them for $7. And so all you're going to do is just push these down and just put them in, and they just fit like a charm. So then when you're done, this is what the design looks like, and it's already framed. So you're not spending $100 or $200 on framing. And so just kind of, so you'll see on my website, and the partial kits are on my website now. They're under 4 beginner kits because it's kind of like a beginner's kit where you're not doing the whole thing with beads. And so this is the 10 by 10. Now I have various sizes, and I didn't plan for them to be a various size, but they ended up being. And so I thought outside the box, and I came up with the idea that I would just put a mat board with the kit. That way it's frameable. So what I did was show you here. Grab this. So here's another new design that I just came out with. Now this kit will come with this mat board. And so what I do is, move this stuff so I don't spill my beads everywhere. I'm just going to pull this out. And again, I got this frame at Michael's also, just because they had a 50% off coupon. And so the kit will come with a mat board in the kit. And so I just cut the edge off, and I just kind of centered it, and I just taped it. Now with this one, it came also with this inside this frame when I bought it. And I just put this in, so it kind of gives it a little bit more extra durability. And so all you're doing is just putting it in, and then just maybe, there we go, and just pushing them under, and this is your frame. So what the kits look like with the mat boards, they will come and they will look like this. So you'll get the mat board, and you'll also get the kit. And so these are $25 just because mat boards are very expensive, but I won't come out with anything that's not frameable, that you can't just go to the store and buy. And so here's, this is a new design. I forgot to put it online last night, so hopefully tonight I get a chance to. So here's a couple of my new designs that I just like to show. So here's a new one that comes with the mat board also. And that's online. And then, so here's the dragonfly. And this is what the kit will look like when you get it, just to kind of give you an idea. So I thought about reprinting these and making them a bigger size so they actually fit the size frames, but a lot of people ended up at the Reno show really liked the mat board to go with it because it kind of helps give the picture a little bit more oomph to it rather than it just being a picture right into the frame. And so I'm just going to show you some new designs that I just came out with. And so here's another one. And so next, and I put this one out when I was in Kansas City, and I had so many people ooh and awing over it. I just put it in this silver frame because I didn't have any white ones available at the time. But this one is one of my favorites. And so this is a Let It Snow. And I got this frame at Michael's, which I really love these blue frames. So I want to show you real quick though. On this one, what I did was instead of cutting the edge out, if I can get these tabs up, I kind of pushed them down a little too hard for myself today. What I did was, and it came with this, I just actually just threw this down in here, and then I just kind of centered it to where I wanted it. I didn't even cut the edge off. I just threw it in just to see what it would look like, see how it would go. Just threw this back on, put this back in. After I get all these little tabs straightened out, and I just press them down, and so it gives me that image. Now I can move it up, like you might have to play with it just a little bit up here. I just need to move that up just a little bit. But this is my new Let It Snow. It is online. Kits have been going really, really fast on these new partial kits. People seem to really like these. And so the other one couple new ones that I have are this one and this one, just to kind of give you some ideas. This one I actually gave to a wholesaler to use over the weekend, and I put it in a gold frame, and it looks amazing. It comes with a black mat board, but it is super awesome. I just love it. And so the other thing that you can do with the 10 by 10s that actually fit right into a frame with no matting is you can actually put these on a wooden block too. And you just cut the edge off, and I just glued it onto it. And you can paint the edge. So it's just another option for the 10 by 10s without.
It looks like we lost her, so hopefully she's going to get signed back in. But I love all of her new stuff, and I would have told her that if she was still here. But again, she'll probably get back on here in just a second. So we're just going to go ahead and move on because I think she was pretty much done with everything she was going to show us today. So this is your last reminder, guys. If you have not yet typed in the secret word for today, it is HOT, H-O-T. So be sure you do that because this is the last time that I'm going to remind you about that. And oh, hang on. It looks like we just got Amy back. So let me see if we can get her back. Hey, Amy.
We hit the wrong button.
No problem. We were just talking.
Let me put the camera back on. I apologize.
No worries. Hey, we just roll with it when these things happen.
Right.
But
okay.
Okay, but yeah, there we go. We're going to let you go ahead and finish up then.
Okay. So then the other option that you can do for, like, let's say a 10 by 10, even these oddball ones that I have here, like this. So basically what I did with this here was I took a canvas block that was 12 by 12, and I took this fun fabric, and I did this a long time ago in a hotel room. I would not recommend using thumbtacks. You won't have a thumb after you're done, but I had no option while I was there, so I just made do. So what I did was I just wrapped the fabric around here, and so this is another option. So you can actually just spray glue it on, which says in my instructions. So you can actually just put this on. And then my idea was just to kind of do a stitch all the way around it, just hand stitch it real quick, which I thought would be really fun. Some people like to put lace or ribbon or things like that. But this is another option for the partial kits. If you don't want to put it behind glass, this is something else you can do. So I thought it was kind of fun, something different. Everybody has fabric at home to use. And so I just want to show you my favorite ones that sold out right away, but I will have them back in stock. There are some that are still available, but not very many. But so I have a 5-set tree. So here's one of the trees. And so this is a 12 by 12. And then I'll just go through the different ones. So this is another one, and they kind of go on a set all together. And these really, really went fast, but I have a lot more coming that will be available in July. And so you'll just have to check my website or my Facebook page, or hopefully I'll have them at the shows. So this is tree number 2. I had to number them at the shows because I didn't have enough time in my hotel room to I was putting them together in my hotel room as I was selling them. This is number 1. I do have a couple of these available online still. So this is a super fun one, but this is one of my favorite ones that I have. And I do have these available. And this one I think is number 3. And so these are just some fun new ones that I just came out with. And so I will have them more available. And they're $25 for the kit, and it comes with everything you need to make it. So now the difference, I wanted to kind of go back because I had a whole bunch of frames underneath on top of this. So this is the difference. This is a full design kit, and this is actually square beads, where square beads fit closer together, so I get more dimension and more shading into my imaging when I do design these. So this is a full design where you don't see all the big beads. It's not the whole way done, things like that. Where this design It's actually where part of it is beads, but the background is just canvas. So you're not doing the whole thing. And so the other thing is the difference between round beads and square beads. I'm going to hold these two up. And so round beads, they kind of fit wherever. It's kind of a next step after beginners or a beginner kit. They're very easy. When I do round beads, I do a lot of where there's the same colors in the same area. So you're not doing, where I don't need as much detail into them. And so that's kind of the difference between the square and the round. Now, the picture behind me that I have is actually a 12 by 16. And I actually got that frame. It's actually a 16 by 20 frame that actually came with a mat board. And so what I did was I just put it right in the middle of the mat board, and I just put the back on, and it gave a matting to it. So let's say if you were to do a 12 by 12, you could get an 18 by 18 frame, and with the mat board, and you can put the frame or you put the design in the middle of it, and it'll give that nice outer edge to it. So, and then the other thought was on a couple of these. So I just want to go back real quick before I finish.
Hey, Amy, we're running a little bit long on time, so we're going to need to wrap you up pretty quickly.
Okay. So all you're doing is you're just cutting this round circle out, and you can actually put the round circle right onto here. So it actually isn't the full square. You can actually put the round circle on here, and then it just shows. So that's basically what a partial kit is. I just updated my website. We finished at 3 o'clock this morning, finishing up, so hopefully it's a lot easier for people to shop. My discount code is WILD, since it's Wild Wednesday. It's 20% off all products online. So
Awesome. I love all that new stuff. And guys, I just want to mention, and I forgot to mention this before when Jackie was on, but both Jackie and Amy are going to be at the Denver show. So those of you who are coming to the Denver show, you are going to get to see all the stuff that Jackie and Amy have up close and personal. So Amy, I hope you can stick around for the end for the question and answer period, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, guys, last but certainly not least today, my co-host and my very dear friend Beth has got something she'd like to show us today. And I got to tell you, I was teasing around at Oklahoma about her deserting me there by myself because she wasn't able to be in two places at one time. But I just felt like my right arm was gone. So I'm so excited that we're going to be back together. You remember the old saying, we're getting the band back together. We'll be back together at the Denver show for all of our lives. So let's bring Beth in. There she is. Hey, friend.
Hi, I'm so excited to be back. You know what? It's so true. It was kind of like I guess I suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out, because the whole time show I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could pull it together and get my act together and do two shows back to back. But
well, and Adele and Teresa and Anna did a great job filling in for you. So not to discount what they did, but it just wasn't the same. I really missed you.
Well, good. It feels good to be missed.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, perfect. So this is kind of last minute. I mean, I'm not throwing Raylene under the bus or anything, girls, but she might have texted me yesterday and said, hey, can you do a demo? So this is not my typical what I would do for a demo, except for that it's a super easy, quick gift. And I know that sometimes you guys just need something quick that you can do for if you're going to somebody's house for dinner or whatnot. And I'm just going to give you a little heads up. I am not tech savvy, so it's impossible. We have so many little things that we do in the shop that it's so hard for me to get all the little stuff up onto the website. So I know I'm not playing by the rules, and I hope I don't get fired. But we're going to do, on Fridays, we do a celebration. And so we're going to do a little celebration after this at 3:30 on our Facebook page. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. So you can go right to our Facebook page at 3:30, and that's where you'll be able to find all these items. Because it's too hard, we don't put in every little thing that we do, or all the border pins that we have, or we try to keep up with our website, but honestly, it's overwhelming. So what I'm going to show you today is, I know I'm like a squirrel, shiny things. I just wanted to show you because I love Amy's products. this is her tree, the blue tree that she does. And I just want you to know you can actually sew on the plastic canvas. So I just added a trim here and then fabric and more trims. So super fun. I love all of Amy's products, but you can totally sew on them. So for me, I don't really necessarily want to frame something and put it in my house because I have a billion frames already, but I want to keep busy sewing. So for those of you that sew, it's a great option. But what I'm going to demo is the border prints. So these are border print pillows. So you've all seen the border prints that we use in the 60-degree rulers for the table runners, which I'll be showing you those in a minute. But these just make super quick and easy. You can change out your decor super quick. So what I'm going to show you, and partly why it's a good thing you're watching, is because you're going to get my little tip on how to keep the corners stuffed, which I did not use here because I don't know, I wasn't thinking. But it's the same with doll making. Like when you're doing a nose or something, or fingers, it's hard to stuff the stuffing in and get it to stick. So if, as you're stitching, you just stitch around and stitch your stuffing right into it. And I hate to tell you this because I'm not a fan of the big chain stores, but that's the best place to get your stuffing because it's so expensive. It's so bulky. The shipping is hard for us to keep it in our shop. So basically what you're going to do, this one's going to be a bench pillow. So we've got them in 3 different sizes and we do have them kitted up. What you're going to do is you're going to take 2 pieces of fabric, and so this is half of a border print. So most border prints come with 4 repeats. So this is half of the border print cut into a 1-yard piece. And then this is the backing, super appropriate for this time of year. So you're going to cut them so that they're the same size. And you're going to put them together with the right sides facing each other. So the wrong sides are facing out. Pin around it. And I've already sewn up some of this, so you don't have to watch that whole long process because who has time for that? So I started probably right here in the middle. I did a little bit of a back stitch. With a pillow, I would usually take like a 1/2 inch seam, but I didn't because this was the print. I didn't want to come into the stars, so I did a 1/4 inch, just like if you were quilting. And Gracie, thank goodness, my videographer is Gracie, and she's filling in today because everybody else abandoned ship. So I started right here. I'm sewing around. I put my batting, or my stuffing. So that's what I'm. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna move really slow so Gracie can keep up with me. She might be a little bit special. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you. It's super easy. It's not technical, but it will make all those edges that you put stuffing into a little bit easier. So I'm going to start back here, and then I always stitch with my needle in the down position, but I pull up my bobbin thread. If you ever have nesting in the back, a lot of times that's because you didn't pull up your bobbin thread and it gets kind of caught down there. So I'm just going to go a little bit over where I've already been. I'm going to stitch right here. I'm going to line these up. It's going to be a pillow and it's going to be stuffed. So if it doesn't line up perfectly, you don't really care. And then I'm going to take my little, oops, not the wad that I already used on a different corner. I'm going to take my little wad of stuffing here, and I'm just going to kind of pinch it into place here. And then I'm going to stitch over it. And we do demos every Monday at noon on our Facebook page. So make sure you follow us on Facebook. That's where you'll see everything that we're doing. Except for we won't be doing a tutorial on Monday when we're driving to Denver. Okay. So I'm just going to come down here, and then just because I'm sewing, I'm going to finish it up. I want to leave an open space big enough so that I can turn it. So, which I probably didn't, because see, look at, that's where I started. So I didn't leave too big of a space. So I'm not going to backstitch. Technically, I would typically backstitch there so that it's secure so it won't rip anymore. But I'm probably going to need to rip it because I made the hole too small. So basically that's what it's going to look like before you turn it inside out. So you've got the stuffing that will stay up in the edges. Poor Gracie, she's tripping. It's good practice for kids, I guess.
No.
So anyways, I'm just going to, we're running a little bit late, so I'm just going to show you this. So if you go right here to our Facebook and go to Fabric Chicks, you can join us at 3:30 today, and we're going to do a live sale on the kits for the pillows, the fabric for the pillows, and then some other things. But I want to show you, we do have this at 50% off. And if you don't want to go to our celebration, you can go to our website, and this is 50% off the panel. So it comes like this. It's ginormous. So if you have a long arm, it's great to quilt, or you can just turn it into a duvet cover. But it's a ruby star. So this one is the tiger. Super fun. Oops, here, Karen. Sorry, we're a real working store also. So this is the tiger, and then it has the unicorns up here. So those are both 50% off, so they're $35 today. Well, it's good until the end of whatever Wild Wednesday sale is, which I think is tomorrow night. But here is, it comes with pillow shams, a small quilt, here's pillow shams, and then a couple of throw pillows. So super fun kits. They're $35 for the Wild Wednesday sale. And then join us on our Facebook page at, look at, I made these signs back before when I didn't realize that YouTube was spelled Y-O-U.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. I know. So these might be old signs that I just found and said, oh, I'll use those. So anyways, join us at 3:30 today. All right, that's it.
Oh my gosh, Beth, we are totally cracking up here. I mean, for one thing, because it's been so hot here, we decided to do this in the house instead of out in the workshop because we have better air conditioner. So the entire time we've been doing the show, I've had 2 cats and a dog jumping up on the table, on the laptop. So, and then we were laughing. We were laughing too because you talked about your children the same way we do ours. So we were just totally rolling. Poor Gracie. I swear. What would we do without her though? She keeps you going.
It's true. I'd be in big trouble.
Okay, well, thank you for filling in last minute and for not throwing me totally under the bus there. But she just jumped in for us. It's just been so crazy with trying to do this and do the shows and get ready for the next show and take care of our customers that I just really dropped the ball, and she just jumped right back in. So we're going to bring everybody back now, though, for our quick Q&A. I have not been able to talk today for our question and answer period. So if you have questions for any of our vendors, now is the time. You want to type those into the comments, and we will make sure that we get all of those answered for you. So go ahead, type those in while Ron is bringing everybody back into the shot here. It's our Brady Bunch time here. I don't know how much longer I can say that. I'm thinking a lot of the younger people are going to go, I don't even know what that is anymore. So we're showing our age. Okay, so let me go through here. A question for Calico Creations. You mean Colorado Creations? Yeah, I'm reading, going, wait a minute, who? Okay, so Jackie, let's just say this is for Jackie.
Okay.
They want to know the name of the pattern that you demonstrated. So what's the name of that panel?
Well, I call it Magic Windows, and it goes by other names. But if you want to look up the kit on my website, type in Magic Windows, and all those kits will come up.
Awesome. Beth, Jenny wants to know, what size is that unicorn panel?
I knew somebody would ask me a complicated question. It's really big. Okay, I'll open it up and see if it says it on the paperwork.
Okay, so we'll come back to you on that. Are you going to repost the video? Okay, yeah, well, probably in a couple of hours, this will be up on our YouTube channel, and that's UYO YouTube channel. Sorry, Beth. And the channel name is Quilt Craft Sew Mall. Quilt Craft Sew Mall. So this is what happens is when we don't see each other for a while, we have to make up for it all here on the show. Let's see. Sherry wants to know, Amy, do you have patterns for leftover beads and things that you have from the kits? Do you have a way of using those leftovers?
Actually, I am coming out with something in August that's really fun. They're going to be magnets, and they're going to be just small 4x4 blocks that you make your own designs in. It's
Oh, good.
something
That's
we've
fun.
been kind of keeping secret. So it'll be round beads and square beads. But yeah, my husband's going to be cutting a lot of magnets.
Awesome. And let's see, there was something else I saw. Oh, Jean. Thank you, Jean. Jean says she enjoyed the Oklahoma City show. Can I just tell you, we had a ball there, but man, was it nasty hot. It was 100 degrees, 60% humidity. By the time we were done tearing down and loading up on Saturday, we were completely drenched. It was so hot for us, used to the 7% Arizona humidity. But let's see. Okay, do we have any other questions? And Kathleen says, "Yay, looking forward to the magnets." I'm with you on that, Kathleen. So am I.
Yeah.
Okay, last chance, guys. You guys were all pretty thorough. So, but does anybody have any more questions? Oh, Beth found the answer. Go ahead, Beth.
78.
Say it again.
78 inches by 98 inches.
78 by 98 inches on that panel.
Yes.
And let's see, we have another question for Amy. What is the size of, what size are your journals?
They're like a 5x7. They're not refillable. So, but you can cut the edge off and frame it when you're done.
And Kathy is asking, Kathy, to find Amy's website, all you have to do is go to quiltcraftsomall.com and then click on the Wild Wednesday logo, and all four of today's vendors are there, quick and easy, so you can find them really easily. And Terry, okay, Terry says she can't wait to see everyone in Denver. Terry, I hope that means we're going to see you in person there, one of our regular viewers. So we really are anxious to see all you guys. And let's see, last chance. Any more questions before we sign out today?
Raylene, you might want to remind Terry to pop into our booth for the.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Just again, remember I said it earlier, and I want to remind you, all you have to do is come to the booth and say, "I get wild with you on Wednesday." And Beth and I each have a gift for you, and they're different. So you want to be sure that you go to both of our booths, because that's been one of the most fun things, is to actually meet our Wild Wednesday viewers face to face, because we get to where we recognize, when I'm doing the door prizes later, I was telling Beth a couple of weeks ago, I notice when one of the regulars is not here. Right. And so don't be surprised if you knock at the door if you're not here for a couple of weeks and be going, "Are you okay? Where are you at?" I get so used to the same people. So it's been really fun to meet you guys in person. So we're really looking forward to that in Denver. So, okay, well,
Raylene?
Yes.
Hi, this is Jackie again. Can I jump on the bandwagon since I'm going to be at Denver and
yes.
I'll give away a free gift if you say you're Wild Wednesday?
There you go, you guys. Jackie's going to have a little gift for you too if you come up to her and say you get wild with her. So that'll be fun. So that's going to be so cool. Oh, we have another question. See if I stall long enough. Will you be in Puyallup this year? We will be in Puyallup on our regular November date. So by then we are all back to our normal dates, normal venues. So yes to Puyallup. So on our let's see. Nope. It looks like that's it. So, guys, that's all for today. I am just, like I say, we're glad to be home. We've got one more show from home before we hit the road again. I've got a great lineup of people for you guys next week for Wild Wednesday. Remember, share this with your friends. We want to keep our viewership up so that we can continue to do this throughout the year. I want to thank all of our vendors. This was a really, really fun and informative show today. Thank all of our vendors for being here, and thank all of them for their generous donations of door prizes. And one last time, I should have the winners posted by about 5 o'clock Pacific time today. So, guys, we're going to sign out for now. I thank you all, and go out there and make it a creative week. We'll see you next week. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.